Welcome back to another live stream, another David Rams live stream. And yeah, we're here again. We're here again, trying to make it more of a regular occurrence, guys, because to be honest with you, I really enjoy going live with you and, you know, looking at some funny shit together. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at something that looks to be very entertaining and possibly spicy. As Joey Carbstrong just released a new video, and the video's titled, Unhinged Farmer Goes to War with Vegan. She got arrested, right? This is the video. This is the beginning of it there. The Unhinged Farmer goes to war with vegan. She got arrested. Now, I haven't seen this video, right? I haven't seen this video. But I have seen the like brief kind of intro to it, you know, to see like, oh, what's the vibe? And just from this little brief intro, I was like, I think I want to react live to that. And also, I've been talking with Joey about it, and yeah, he told me that this was, you know, he told me he went pretty hard in this. Like, he told me it was pretty intense from him. So I want to see what's going on. And then we're going to answer the question at the end of this. We're going to answer the question, did he go too far? Or did he not go far enough? That's the question we're going to have to figure out today, right? So as always, if you've got a question for me or a suggestion for me, or you want to look like a fucking legend in front of all your mates, which I know you do, of course you do, then you can use the Streamlabs donation link, which is up there in the pinned comment, to send through your questions and whatnot. And if you make a donation with it with Streamlabs, I will 100% respond to it. That is guaranteed. As always the case with my live streams. I really appreciate your guys' support. So this always goes without saying. If you do that, you get a response. Everybody taps you on the back and says, you're a fucking legend, because you are, right? So that's how we're going to do it today, as always. And let's take a look at what happened then with this new video from Joey Carbstrong. Unhinged Farmer goes to war with vegan. She got arrested. 20,000 views, 1,600 likes, 48 dislikes. I liked it even though I haven't seen it yet, because, you know, I'm just that kind of guy. I'm just good like that, you know. I support the vegans without watching the videos. Let's watch the intro. And let's see what kind of spiciness we've got on the way.
In these farmers' eyes, stealing animals is the most horrible thing on earth. But cutting their heads off, completely fine. That's my God-given right. Like, listen to yourselves. What an idiot! I cannot with this guy. So
now I already saw that, and I knew immediately that this was something I needed to react to live. This just seems like top level spicy Joey, doesn't it? It seems like he goes in hard, right? And I got the vibe that he went in hard. And also, as I told you, he told me personally he went in pretty hard. So I figure, right, we've got 24 minutes of prime time golden Joey coming up. Let's see what the hell's going on and why this farmer is unhinged, why this vegan got arrested, what the hell's going on. Let's dive in.
when it comes to gun-toting, Trump-worshipping, meat-eating, redneck Karens, this Ed Petit guy is the final boss. All right, so if
Final boss Karen.
haven't heard, there's a sanctuary called Asher Farm Sanctuary in upstate New York. I'm not very familiar with the area, but Asher Farm Sanctuary, vegan sanctuary, have gotten into some trouble here. There's a bit of a news story associated with this, a lot of articles. Check it out.
Well, there is beef tonight between Niagara County farmers and a local animal
Good one, beef. Yeah, good. Yeah.
sanctuary.
Controversy in the country. The owners of 2 cows in Newfane say their animals are being held hostage and they want them back.
Animals being held hostage by who? Somebody wants to help them?
The owner of McKee Farms says 2 of his cows got loose and ended up at Asha's animal sanctuary about a half-mile away. The sanctuary wants to keep the cows, and that's upsetting other local farmers who say that's not how things work.
There's Ed Petit, look at him, don't mess with farmers.
They should have been given back to the owner. Other people have had cows or horses get loose, and people make sure they get back where they belong.
It's so ridiculous, isn't it? The way she's saying this, like, oh yeah, they need to get back where they belong. Where they belong? What do you mean where they belong? They escaped a fucking death camp. They escaped certain death in a slaughterhouse. And that they belong there. It's almost like she's like, we need to get them home. They need to go back to their home. It's their home. We need to make sure these animals get to where they belong, because that's the place where they're going to be the best looked after, the best cared for. We need to get them back over to where they belong, to where they're safe, where they're loved. It's like, no, where they are is being safe and loved, not back with the fucking farmer who's going to chop their heads off.
Why don't they just send the cows back to have their heads cut off and their body cut up into pieces and fed to people?
Scott Gregson.
I promise I haven't seen this before, but I guess Joey's had a bit of an influence on me because we almost said exactly the same thing.
Who owns McKee Farms just down the road, says the cows are his, but the sanctuary does not want to give the cows back.
We're a sanctuary. We don't want to hand over animals that are going to go into slaughter.
The dispute is upsetting local farmers who are demanding Asha's Farm Sanctuary releases the beef.
Just look at how they view the animals. Beef, release the beef. Asha's trying to stop them from being slaughtered. And the farmers are like, release the beef. They are just beef to us. Two different mindsets completely.
I hope it teaches people.
It's sick, isn't it? Release the beef. It's like, so if the farmers want to convince us that they care about these animals, release the beef isn't the message, is it? Let's be honest. Release the beef. Yeah, that we really care about these animals. We want them back. Release the beef. How can you as a farmer say, I care about my animals, and then call them beef, literally call the animals beef while they're still alive? Is that not just like, it's not about disrespecting the animals because they don't understand disrespect. It's about them trying to convince us, other humans, that they have respect for them. It's like when you call them beef, you're showing everyone that you have no respect for them. You have zero respect for them.
Lesson not to mess with farmers. I'll tell you that much.
Well, maybe you should stop messing around with animals, all of you rounding up animals to send them to their death to stick a knife in their throat. They act like they're doing something noble here, but really they're on the wrong side of history.
This is ridiculous. This is people's livelihood. It's food on the table. It's food to feed their families. This isn't right.
This isn't right. Big Bad Ed, this isn't right. This is food for their families. Like, it doesn't think of the animal, the individual animals and what their preferences are. Their preference is obviously to live in peace and not to be hacked in the throat with a knife. But Ed only sees it from the farmer's perspective and food on the tables. Like, you can't eat other food. You have to eat these sentient conscious beings, cut their heads off. If anyone's being ridiculous, mate, it's you.
No, come on, Joey. That's a bit unreasonable. I mean, there is this farmer lives in the USA, and we all know that the USA is one of those countries where they have such a significant shortage of supermarkets and food. They have no choice. They don't have anything else. The USA doesn't even have hummus yet. I mean, they don't even have the basic, staples of a plant-based diet. Like, they can't get lentils in the USA. They can't get chickpeas, of course, because they can't make hummus. So you already got that. They definitely can't get any fruits and vegetables or any legumes or any other kind of, rice. They don't have anything. All they have is animal products. That's what they need to survive off in the USA. So, sorry, Joey, but you're just totally wrong, dude. Like, you've got to be more empathetic to these Americans who have such limited choice. They're like they're really the most underprivileged people in the world, Americans, Joey.
Chooses to do for the good of injured and helping other animals.
You can help other animals, but just release the beef, because these aren't actually animals, they're just beef. So she's stealing our beef. It's just, help the other injured animals, help the dogs and cats, but release the beef.
It really means a lot to us. This is a very stressful time for our family right now, what we're going through, and I just can't thank them enough.
Wait. Is he talking about... Wait. Please tell me he was from the sanctuary.
My heart bleeds for you, Scott Gregson.
Hold up. Wait. No, he was from a farm. I thought he was from a sanctuary. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold up.
These aren't actually...
Wait. There's no way. Let me just go back and hear what he said again.
But release the beef.
It really means a lot to us. This is a very stressful time for our family right now, what we're going through, and I just can't thank them enough.
Oh my God, I thought he's the owner of a farm. I thought he was the sanctuary worker being like, oh, I can't thank the sanctuary enough, Because that's like, when you're like rescuing animals, that's the kind of thing you say to people who have rescued, oh, we just can't thank the sanctuary enough for helping these cows. We're going through a lot right now. He's talking about... He's like, we're going through so much right now. We have probably 100 cows, and this sanctuary now has 2 of them, and they want to save them, and we're just going through so much. You fucking tool. You absolute twat. Oh my God. What is it with farmers and constantly going for the fucking cry card? You know, they always do this like, oh, woe is me, I'm a poor farmer card. They pull it out every time. Don't they? Like they always go for the sympathy vote. It's literally all they have at this point. And the thing is, what I love about it is when they do the sympathy bullshit. Yeah, a lot of people buy into it. But a lot of people are starting to be like, man, you kind of chose that job, bro. You kind of, you know, it's a profession, it's a career. You're not doing like a public service. You're not, you know what I mean? And it's like you choose your fucking career. This is your career path. You didn't have to go into this, and there are other options. It's like, and then they cry about it as if it's like, oh, we don't even get paid. We're just trying to do good for the world. No, you're not. You get paid for this. You're a businessman. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh man, it's so funny.
It really means a lot to us. This is a very stressful time for our family right now, what we're going through, and I just can't thank them enough.
My heart bleeds for you, Scott Gregson. But what is all this? What is all this news article? What actually happened? Let's check it out from the sanctuary owner, Tracy's perspective.
These calves over here have entered our property 10 days ago. They wandered onto our property. They caused damage to our property.
Look how beautiful they are.
We reported it immediately to the Niagara County SPCA. They alleged that they found the owner of these cattle. There was no proof. I talked to him reasonably, offered for the calves to stay here, but we had a bill that we had to take care of.
So basically she called the owner, got some of your calves here. They've damaged some of our property. We'll look after them, but you'll have to sort of reimburse us for looking after these cows because it obviously costs money.
He asked me if I would keep them the weekend. I said, no problem. He would call me on Monday. Well, you want to know what happened? What happened, he never called me. What he did is he came here with the police.
Tracy was trying to negotiate keeping the cows and saying, well, they're on my property. They've damaged some of our property. We've also had them for like 10 days, fed them, looked after them, and have probably put more into these cows than they're actually worth to you. Think what you want of that. I believe Tracy's intentions here are to save the lives of these animals. I don't really want to get into the legal stuff because we all know that morality and legality are two separate things. This state trooper guy whose cows got loose was negotiating on the phone with her, and then he thought, you know what? No way. I'm going to start launching accusations at her. Claims like that she might have taken these cows, and I'm not going to give her the money that I owe her, and I'm going to try to get the cows back.
The thing is farmers right now, they're on the back foot a lot in the sense of like a lot of people are waking up and realizing that vegan alternatives are not only better for animals, but a lot of people are saying that, you know, realizing that it can be better for your health, it can be better for the environment as well. And obviously, once again, it is so much better for animals, right? And most people, although they act hypocritically, they do give a shit about animals. Like 99% of people you come across will say, I don't think animal abuse is right? So when you point out, hey, look at all this animal abuse, just eat the vegan one, they're like, yeah, I think I will do that. And then next thing, they look at the farmers and they're like, wait a minute, why the fuck are you still doing this? Why are you animal farmers not switching up and trying to do more plant-based? Well, you know, and then the blame game starts where they're like, you know what, what you do to animals is scummy. And now I realize I don't need animal products. You're scummy. You're doing this for profit. You're a piece of shit. So more and more people are realizing this and more farmers are getting their backs up about it and trying to like fight their corner. So basically what's happened here is, I reckon, this farmer's seen this, has realized this is a fucking great opportunity to rile things up, to get people behind us. Like these sanctuary needs to be, they probably know the sanctuary already. They've probably already had them in their sights for a while because the presence of an animal sanctuary in any kind of farming area is a massive issue because it brings the cognitive dissonance. You cannot ignore that there are animals here that have been rescued from here and now they're living happily while they're dying here, right? So think about what that does to the locality, the people, that they can go to one place and see cows and chickens and pigs and sheep living in beautiful open spaces where they're looked after. And then just down the road, it's the complete opposite. People start to wake up, right? So My bet is that this farmer's already had this place in his sights, is aware of this place. How can we ruin the reputation of this place and get ourselves some emotional fucking support in the meantime? Get people riled up and behind us against these fuckers. And I reckon he's looked at this, figured it out, and been like, do you know what? I'm going to claim she took those cows, and I'm going to get the police involved, and I'm going to cause a big fuss, get protests kicked off. That's what I reckon's happened here. Now, you could call me a conspiracy theorist, but honestly, I think that's just good business. If I were that farmer and she did that, she took the cows, I would 100% squeeze every last tiny little bit of drama I could get out of that, because I know that you know, it's an opportunity for me to cause a big fuss and try and get people behind me against this thief, she's a thief, you know? I reckon he's just got a Hail Mary on this and been like, yeah, let's try and cause some shit and get some sympathy, support, while simultaneously ruining the reputation of this sanctuary for the local community. That's what I reckon's gone on here.
Maybe out of some sort of stupid principle that they have. No, not like that. 2 cows matter to these beef farmers. Tracy's trying to save some lives, and the beef farmers want to send the cows to the slaughterhouse. Where does Ed come in? Old Ed hears about this whole commotion, and you know, Ed, he can't keep it to himself. You know, he's like final boss, king of all Karens. And if you have a little look-see here, I think he thinks he's Donald Trump. He built a little makeshift stage on his front yard.
Oh
He's made an acronym for ASHA. Animals stolen, hidden away. Don't mess with farmers. Cows stolen from a man. Rights stolen from a community.
Oh my God. What a fucking bellend. That is so funny. I had no idea that he'd done this.
Have a look at this guy. Absolutely ridiculous, mate. We all know that this is all you have to do, basically. Tracy's a sanctuary owner looking after animals, so and you're building, painting, doing a little arts and craft on your... You've got American flags poking out of it, dude. This is the type of people that we're dealing with.
I saw in the comments as well of Joey's. I was reading through some comments there. Some people were pointing out that this type of American flag is actually associated with like racism, right? Or like, I don't know. Some people were saying it's like a white supremacist flag, right? With the, I don't know. I'm hoping one of you guys could point that out to me, because the blue one is apparently, it means something else, doesn't it? It's not just like a different color. It actually means something. So yeah, if one of you could explain that in the comments, I'll come back to it. But I'm sure it's something. But yeah, look at this. Oh my God, that is so funny. Shut it down. He's got in the middle there as well. Don't mess with farmers. Right to farm. Jeez. The thing is, though, it's like, yeah, you got the right to farm. It's true. Just farm plants, you know? It's like, no one's going to argue with your right to farm. Okay, Joe of Toe says it's a Blue Lives flag. Okay, so it's the cops one. So, okay, maybe it's not like clearly racist. It's, you know, supporting police. But yeah, I it's something like, is it called a blue line flag? I don't know. But right, let's get back to Joey.
Know that this is all you have to do, basically. Tracy's the sanctuary owner looking after some craft on your... You've got American flags poking out of it, dude. This is the type of people that we're dealing with. If you think I'm going to sit here, right, and not speak with contempt about this person who is fighting for these animals to have their heads decapitated, who is carrying on like this over 2 cows, right, which Tracy was trying to save, then you got another thing coming. Because I'm gonna talk to this person exactly how I think he deserves to be talked to.
Thank you for the super chat, the Vegan Potterhead. And the Vegan Potterhead says, I lit some candles for them, live streamed it, posted it, and said some words about these cows. It may be good if others did the same and put it on Facebook. Thank you for the contribution, and thank you for the idea. It's quite a simple action if somebody wanted to do something simple for this to raise some kind of awareness, or I mean, just posting about it full stop, I think is going to help. So I agree, it would be nice to do something, bring attention to this. But of course, I mean, there's nothing that can be done now. I think I believe the cows have already been killed, and the situation is over. But of course, bringing attention to it is still important, because, you know, I think most people who aren't like selfish pieces of shit would be empathetic to the, this situation and to the cows in this situation. Thank you again, Vegan Pothead, for the super chat.
I want you to join me for breakfast this morning.
And what's Ed having for breakfast? I bet you some of that good old homegrown, freshly slaughtered animal sleeves. Let's have a little look.
I want to show you what I have on my table. So I got my bacon and eggs.
Oh, you got little pieces of pig's hay? Little pieces of pig's body. Were they gas chambered or electrically stunned and stabbed to death? And what do you got? A bit of something out of the hen's bum there? Bit of eggs, eh? Freshly grown and harvested from our good old farmers down there in upstate New York.
I got my milk.
He's got a glass of milk, just rubbing it in. A glass of titty juice too, Ed. Maybe that explains why you act like such a big man baby, because you're still on the tit.
Imagine sitting there as like a full-grown ass man and being, first of all, just like putting these foods on camera as I guess he's doing it as some kind of protest or whatever. It's like, dude, 99% of the world population eats what you eat. You're not protesting when you're showing people you're eating eggs, bacon, and drinking milk. It's not like revolution. It's not revolutionary. It's not rebellious. It's nothing. It's nothing. You're just doing what everyone else does, and you're proud of it. It's like you're proud of doing what everybody else does and ignoring all of the suffering that comes for it. You're proud of just being like I don't know what you call it, like some kind of traditionalist at the expense of like others. You know, when we're in like 2022 now, right? We know now that animals suffer. We know they're sentient. We know all this stuff. We know what goes on in farms. We know how they feel and how their fear and how they feel pain and all this stuff. So it's like when you're just showing off that you're still doing the same shit, knowing all of that, you're just a bit of a cunt, really, aren't you? Like, that's just pretty much what it is, right? I mean, if you were I don't know. It's just like, you basically, when he's all this play, he's just saying, here we've got a bit of I'm a cunt. And I've actually got a glass of I'm a cunt to wash it down. And I like my I'm a cunt with a side of I'm also a cunt. Basically, that's what you're saying. That's basically what's going on.
I got my butter.
Got some butter there too. You know what, Ed? You know what, Ed? If you keep eating like that, mate, you won't be whinging for much longer because your arteries are just going to be solidified by the end of the year.
Everything you see, everything I showed you, was raised and produced on my farm, my family homestead.
Mate, you're a farming hero, mate. You raised that pig and you stabbed him to death yourself, did you? Well, round of applause, mate. Round of applause. Everyone gather around Ed's little makeshift stage here and give him a big fat round of applause. You've murdered a pig. Wow, what do you want, a medal? Yeah. Here's your medal.
The food the animals eat is mostly raised on my farm as well. I do my own processing because it is the way of life I chose.
It's just the way of life I chose. I chose to stab pigs to death and cut pieces of their buttocks off and put them on my plate for breakfast.
That's totally normal behavior. Totally reasonable, compassionate. Like this is the kind of, like, imagine choosing that. Imagine being proud that you choose that. Yeah, I chose to put this homestead together. I chose to bring these complex, sentient, intelligent lives into existence. I chose to raise them from little babies for like maximum 2 to 3 years until they're still little babies. And then I chose to get a knife and jam it in their throats so I can cut pieces of them off and I can put it on a plate and lift it up to show you how much of a cunt I am. That's what I decided to go for. That is my choice. It's my personal choice.
Fed in the morning, my animals are fed. Before I retire at night, I make sure my animals are protected and safe from predators.
You are the predator.
Yes,
Ed.
Joey.
You are the predator to those animals.
Oh my God.
You're feeding them before you're fed. I don't believe you. You're protecting them before you protect yourself. I don't believe you. You're protecting them from some predator. You are the predator. Like, you are literally going to stab them to death, mate. Listen to yourself. You're acting like you're a noble animal protector.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Like he positions himself as a protector of these animals from predators. This is what farmers do, though. They talk, it's the same shit. They're like, I care for the animals, right? I care about them. And it's like, yeah, but it comes with a fucking, It's the word I'm looking for. Conditions, right? I care about them because they bring me money. I protect you from predators because I want to eat you. You know, it's like you can't give yourself a pat on the back for doing the good thing because you're only doing the good thing because you want to do the bad thing yourself, right? I care for you, right? And I stop other people from hurting you. I stop other animals from hurting you. And I stop you from getting diseases because I want to kill you. Because if the disease kills you, then I don't get to kill you. If the predator kills you, I don't get to kill you. It's not a good deed, is it? It's not a good deed at all. It's kind of like when you're like, when you bully, like, I don't know, when I was younger, I guess I did a little bit, bullied my little brother, right? I used to like punch him and stuff like that. I can't do it now because he's a lot bigger. But like, I would kill anybody who tried to bully him because I'm the only one that's allowed to bully him, right? Now imagine that was murder. And that's what he's doing basically. If you get the analogy, it's fucking mental.
A life of hard work, but it's satisfying to me. It is my right, granted by my Creator, to live this way.
No.
You just have rights granted by God? God gave you rights? Or did the law give you rights? Which one is it? If you believe in God, then you should also believe that God granted animals the right to live. Or are you going to use the whole dominion argument? Almost certain that the pig you stabbed to death to put on your plate did not want to die. Where are the pigs' God-given rights to live? Where are the cows' God-given rights to live? Or is it just you that have God-given rights?
This is this human supremacy bullshit. This is what it comes from. This is mass organized religion like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, even Hinduism, even though lots of people don't think Hinduism's like this, but it is. All of these mass organized religions have one thing in common. They all teach you that you are up in the fucking sky in terms of like how superior you are. And every single other animal is beneath you. Every single one of them. They don't even come close. That's what all these organized religions teach you. So then you get dickheads like Ed here, who is saying like, oh, that's what they're here for. And that's because his holy book taught him that he's a special little snowflake. He's so special, in fact, that he can do what he wants to animals. And that's just, you know, his God-given right. And this is where it comes. It comes directly from religion. Honestly, even like atheists, even people who don't believe, their systems of what they believe about animals come directly from religion. Because like it or not, even if you're raised in an atheist household, you will be raised in a religious community because religion has sculpted the environment that we're all living in. It has, like, you know, the way that people deal with each other, talk to each other, the way government systems work, like, it's all driven by one religious text or another, like, predominantly one. So even if you're raised, like, without religion, you will end up believing things that came from religion because of the impact the religion's had. So this whole human supremacy thing, that's why even atheists have it. Because they've been raised being told humans are special, humans are special, humans are special. And that shit comes directly from religion. And today, with Ed here, you see it like clear as day where his attitude to animals comes from. It comes from Christianity.
Society was created to protect those rights. And Asha Sanctuary is engaged in an attack on those rights.
So like you're all about protecting rights, are you, Ed? Except when it comes to animal rights. Animals don't deserve rights. I have the right to stab them to death and eat them. Tracy is taking our rights.
It's phenomenal.
You are such a victim, mate. It is absolutely embarrassing. You think you're the victim. You're the victim of Tracy. The animals aren't the victim of you. You are not breaching the animals' rights, are you? By cutting their head off and eating them, no?
Thing is, it's mad. Like he's so self-obsessed, right? Self-entitled. He believes that God gave him the right to kill animals. And this Tracy has taken his right away from him. And it's like, no. God gave Tracy the right to save animals. She has just as equal of a right in his world to save those animals as he has to kill those animals. You see what I mean? It's basically, it's all it is his will versus hers, but he's trying to make it some kind of godly right that he has to take those animals back and kill them. It's like, no, it isn't. It isn't. She has just as much a case to save them as you have to kill them in his worldview. Obviously, in our worldview, no, he doesn't have any case to kill them. He should not be allowed to kill them. But I'm just going by his logic here. If he has the right to do it, God-given right, she has the God-given right to stop him from doing it and to save those animals' lives. If obviously, so long as she doesn't like impede on his harm him or like, you know, with violence or whatever. Those animals walked onto her fucking farm, and she decided that, you know, you owe me money. He said he didn't want to pay the money, so she's like, okay, they're going to stay here then, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? It's like she didn't infringe on impede on his rights or anything like that. She's within in his world. She's doing what she can do this. She has a God-given right to act in the way she sees appropriate in this point. So in this situation. So yeah, I'm just trying to basically tease out his weird kind of God-given right argument and show him that, you know, by his logic, we all have a God-given right to do things, you know, that he doesn't agree with. And he has to technically accept all of them then, if he believes that these rights are inalienable, like, or whatever he believes. Is that making sense?
Namely, livestock property rights.
So this is what it all boils down to. Ed believes that Tracy manufactured this whole thing, protected the cows, they got out, put them in enclosure, just to take away the farmer's property rights.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Big plan by Tracy to... It wasn't just, let me help these two individuals in this moment. Well, let me tell you something, Ed. No one gives a damn if you own a table or a computer or a car. We do give a damn if you start to own conscious, sentient beings who are having a subjective experience, like animals and humans. Property rights should not trump the rights of the individual.
They have engaged in a desperate attempt to create an unethical legal maneuver to confiscate unsuspecting farmers' livestock and weaken their property rights.
Oh my God.
It's interesting how you talk about ethics, Ed.
Oh, this guy
You wouldn't
is
know
hilarious.
ethics if it smacked you on the head. Like, how dare you speak of ethics when you have a chopped up pig on your plate and you are more concerned with your right to own animals than the animal's right to exist without harm and without a knife in their throat. Okay, we've got a good idea about Ed and his mission. Ed's mission is to stop Tracy from protecting animals, basically. But he didn't just stop there. He actually went and harassed board members of ASHA.
We are taking this to the home of an ASHA sanctuary board member.
I wonder how Ed would fare if a bunch of people turned up at his house. Probably not too well.
Maybe we should do it.
He'd probably have a massive cry, call the police,
Oh, yeah.
and build another stage about it.
He would definitely crumble, wouldn't he? He would fall apart. He can't even barely handle this shit. Look at how emotional he's gotten here. I mean, building the stage and everything. Oh man, this guy's a proper meat flake.
Because I want to ask you some questions as a board member of the ASHA Sanctuary about the company policies.
I love how he's written his questions down.
Ed, the big old hypocrite. He's now on their property, and he's all about property rights. Hey, Ed, you heard of trespass, mate? So if you're going to be all about property rights, you better not breach other people's property rights. Obviously, Ed doesn't give a damn about that. Ed's just got way too much time in his hands.
Attention Youngstown, attention Youngstown. I'm sorry if I
Definitely.
disrupt your dinner that was provided by farmers while I'm here fighting for the rights of farmers. Your neighbor is a board member of the ASHA Sanctuary. They have disrupted the life in my community of hardworking farmers.
Oh, mate, this guy is the biggest emotional manipulator you're ever going to see. He's got a megaphone out the front of their house talking about how hard-working he is. Mate, you pick up some eggs from some hens, you throw a little bit of hay on the ground, and you stab pigs in the throat. Like, what do you want, mate?
No, Joey, come on, man. Fuck. Come on, Joey. He's so hardworking. He needs to be nicer here, man. He's a hardworking farmer. He does a job and gets paid for it. And it's special. Like this, it's a special job, Joey. Like, you don't understand, man. It's not the same as other jobs. This it's a special job, and with farmers, you have to treat them differently to everybody else who has a job because they're farmers. It's just different. It's just not the same as any other job. You need more like emotions and empathy. You can't just tell him that he's a dickhead. I don't know why, but you just have to. More respect than anybody else. You know, feel sorry for him. He's a hardworking farmer. We have to all feel sorry for him, guys. Come on.
Your support, just as you need our support to eat.
You know what? Big up the farmers who just grow fruits and vegetables for us and the grains. Like, big up the farmers. The animal killers, though, mate, you need to get a new hobby, mate. I seriously hope, if there is a God, you are completely stripped of your right to own and kill animals. And while I'm alive, I'm going to make it my mission to completely strip you of your rights to have anything to do with an animal, especially when you've got your little sharpened knife in your hand and all you're thinking of is eating their bum. Let's have a little think about, what does Asha Sanctuary do for animals? Protect injured animals, look after sick animals, pay for vet bills, feed them, house them, give them a good quality of life. And what does Ed do for animals? Gets up in the morning, protects them from predators. Turns out he is the predator. Stabs them to death, chucks them on his plate and makes a stupid live stream talking about property rights over animal rights. Wow. Mate, I can tell you right now, if I was an animal, I'd want to stay as far away from you as humanly possible. I'd want you in prison if I was an animal.
You are a board member. So you have responsibility for what the president of the corporation does.
I have no control over the day-to-day affairs.
Do you support what she's doing right now?
I can't speak to anything that's going on right now.
Why not?
Because it's not my place.
Sure it is. You're a board member of Asha Sanctuary.
He's basically harassing her to speak about something that she doesn't have any power over, and it's just a legal issue that she shouldn't really be speaking on. So she's being smart here.
Would you resign from the board in protest of what she's doing? Okay. It's necessary to the farmers.
What is he talking about? Who is he represent? Okay, let's just break this down for a second. Okay, so he's positioned himself as like as Joey said earlier, kind of like the Donald Trump of farmers. I guess he sees himself as some kind of politician. I mean, look, the speed he whipped out the stage. Let's be honest, he's waited his whole fucking life for this moment. Now, like, he's going to these people's homes, and is it just me or is he alone? It sounds to me like he's alone, because otherwise somebody else could have filmed him, correct? And that would have looked a lot better, wouldn't it? So who is he representing here? Are you telling me he couldn't get one other fucking farmer to come with him? All right, you could say, but the farmers are hardworking. They're just at home trying to work really hard, trying to stab those pigs or whatever, right? Yeah, okay, fine. The farmers are hardworking. They don't have time. But someone fucking does. Someone associated with the farming industries that he's apparently representing surely has a bit of time to come and help him confront these people or stage some kind of organized thing. It's just him. So he keeps saying the farmers, the farmers, the farmers. My bet is that most of the farmers at this point are probably just like getting on with it, moved on. And he just can't let it go. And he's just he just sees himself as some kind of hero, some kind of savior. But it's in his head. Like, he thinks he's some kind of superhero or something, like, and it's just all in his head, maybe. Because otherwise, I'm telling you, why would there be nobody else there? Why, you know what I mean? He keeps like talking as if he represents like farmers, like just, you know, this big group. They all support him. I reckon they probably think he's a proper dickhead. I reckon like if you went out to like some of the local farmers, hey, do you support this empathy? I reckon they'd be like, no, that guy's a dick, man. What the fuck is it? We don't want that guy's an idiot. I reckon he's like a total loser in that community as well. It's just like no one likes him. I know I'm being harsh here, but I mean the dude's being a dick, so he kind of deserves it.
We work hard.
We work hard. Farmers act like, not all farmers are like this, but he acts like they're the only people on earth that work hard.
Right.
Like, everyone else works hard.
Yeah.
Single mothers with 2 jobs work hard. They don't go marching around the streets going, we work hard. They just work hard. Farmers act like protected members of society who everyone should bow at your feet because you stab animals to death.
And the problem is, if she gets away with stealing our cattle...
She didn't steal the cattle, mate. See, now he's accusing her of stealing it. The cattle got out. The media said his cattle got loose and she contained them. You were launching accusations at her without evidence, saying she stole the cows.
Yeah.
You weren't there. How do you know she stole them? You're ascribing intent. We all know that she doesn't want the animals to die, but they could have just got out.
She says she wants to pay top dollar. But first of all, what's top dollar? He didn't raise them for her. He raised them. He's got contracts with other people for this beef.
So Tracy even offered to buy them. They're refusing out of principle because he has contracts with other people to turn them into beef. You can tell exactly what these people are interested in.
Those beef are being raised, those cows are being raised for beef that my friend will use for his family and for other people.
So this is exactly what happens when there's property status of animals. The owner can dictate what happens to them. The owner can dictate whether or not they go to the slaughterhouse, so it's really in the owner's hands. This is the problem with animals treated as property. If you remove the property status of animals, you have to take the interests of the animal at heart.
It's his property. She's got him, and she's not returning them.
Well, it sounds like they're exploiting the use of the kids.
They're exploiting. No, they're not exploiting anything. Have you seen Tracy Murphy? I call her Milk 'em Hard Murphy. Every day she's trying to get donation. She's raising funds off of these cattle. She's raising funds off of another man's cattle.
She's not raising funds off another man's cattle, right? Like, you're an absolute fool.
But even if she was raising funds to try to, for legal fees or whatever, good. She doesn't want to get, these are animals. They're not fucking pieces of property that, she's fighting for their lives. So even if she was raising money to try to fight the legal battle, yeah, then it's fine. But yeah, I'll see what Joey says anyway.
She doesn't want them to die.
Right.
All right? Can you give her the benefit of the doubt there? Like, what you want to do is make her out to be the most evil person on earth, because it's a lot easier to attack an evil person. It's a lot harder to attack someone who's actually acting in the interests of the animals and actually has a heart filled with compassion and doesn't want them to die, isn't it? It's better to say, well, she's just raising money for herself and she doesn't care about these animals. She cares about exploiting them for money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he's trying to make it out like, as if she would be raising money for her back pocket. When the reality is, if she was trying to raise money, she'd be trying to raise money to fight legal battles, to feed them. It wouldn't be for like, oh, I'm using these cattle to get some money so I can go and buy a fucking new car. Like, I mean, Jesus. That's what this dickhead is trying to do. He's trying to make it out that she's exploiting them. She's exploiting them for money. No, she's most 100% certainly as the sanctuary owner trying to raise money for the animals in her care. Come on, let's be real.
It's a lot easier to attack that, eh? It's a lot harder to attack a kind-hearted person who doesn't want two animals to be slaughtered, because then what? Then farmers become the villain, don't they? And she becomes what? The hero.
Exactly.
This could have been one of my cows. Because she didn't steal from me. She didn't steal from my neighbors. The problem is the stealing.
So in these farmers' eyes, stealing animals is the most horrible thing.
I know where this is going.
Right? But cutting their heads off, completely fine. That's my God-given right, Trump-given, God-given, gun-toting right.
Like, the thing is like, he's got such a moral issue with stealing. He's like, this is stealing. This is stealing. It's like, you're stealing their entire existence, bro. Like, literally, you are creating them, and then you are just like taking everything you can from them by force before you then take their life for money. Like, how could you take, even, like, Tracy didn't steal, right? She didn't steal these animals. But even if she did steal them, if Tracy walked into his farm, took 2 cows away to try and save their lives, stole them, as he would say, she's still morally way fucking higher up than this guy is. She's still way more morally superior than he is, because she's stealing them with the intention of saving their fucking lives. He breeds them and steals everything from them, and eventually steals their lives for money and for bacon. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can this guy even try and take a moral position on theft at this point? It's like, I take issue with stealing. It's like, bro, you can't take a moral position on anything. You are like morally bankrupt. You have nothing to offer here. It's insane.
Listen to yourselves. He has these animals there to feed them until they're ready to be slaughtered, cut off their head and turn them into steaks.
And then a tag was removed.
Look at it, he's having a breakdown, mate. You're having a breakdown, bro. You can't contain yourself, can you? You can't hold your composure, can you, bro?
No, wait a minute. Her employees testified to that, and testified that her intention was to keep those animals. She wants to save them. But they don't belong to her, and she knows they don't belong to her.
You're not even a full human being, mate. You're a hollowed shell of a human being. You got fake courage. You're a fake hero. The only time you feel big is when you're killing and eating animals, or when you're harassing sanctuary owners. The way I will guarantee this, let's sit down for a discussion on my channel together, and I want to see how well you hold your composure with someone who is smarter than you and has more courage than you. And let's see how you justify what happens to animals.
It would be a fucking shit show, wouldn't it? All he would do, and I know this kind of debater, all he would do is keep going back, appeal to law, and he would appeal to religion over and over again. He would say like, that it's legal, and then he would say, and it's my God-given right, and it's legal, therefore I can do it, and I can do it, and I can do it, and I don't care if you disagree. This is the law, and my religion tells me that this is what animals are here for. Therefore, it's all good. Done, done, done. And it would just be like talking to a brick wall, as it is 99% of the time when you're talking to these kind of like Christian fundamentalist, creationist kind of people, which he is. This is what this guy is. Like, I will go down, I will put, I don't have that much money. I will put half of all the money I have, which is not a lot. I'll put all the money I have. Let's do it. Let's do a bet on the fact that this guy is creationist. Okay, he believes in the story of creation by the book, Noah's Ark, all that shit. He believes all that, right? And he believes the earth is like, whatever, 600 years old or some shit. I don't know, 6,000 years old. He believes all that, 7 days, all that crap. And he's by the book, by the Bible, all text word for word. But picks and chooses the bits that he agrees with, because obviously he doesn't believe in, he won't do some of the things that are socially unacceptable. I reckon he's homophobic. I reckon he believes, being gay is a sin. I reckon I've got his number. I reckon this is the guy. And trying to debate this type of person is I've done it before on my channel. You guys saw it. I had that guy on, this hardcore Christian fundamentalist, fucking whatever guy. And oh God, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare because they base everything not on logic, not on reason. They can't do that. They base it all on basically magic. It's just like basically talking to somebody who believes in magic and spirits and just energy and without any kind of reason or rationale. And this is what this guy would be, basically. This is practically what it would be like. So although I'd love to see Joey and him, to be honest, have a debate, I imagine it would be incredibly frustrating, and it would just be constantly just coming up against God though, God though, God though. And everybody who's like Christian would love the farmer, and obviously as most Christians, I mean, obviously the vegan Christians wouldn't. And then everybody who's for like kind of more logic and reason and dealing with things and on that side would be on Joey's side and the vegans. So this is, I've never seen this kind of debate happen and it ended up in a resolution where it was good for either party. I've never seen it, unfortunately. That's how I think it would go. But I'd still love to see it. So, who knows?
Let's see how you justify animals not having rights. Let's see you prove your position that property rights are more important than animal rights or human rights. I'm telling you right now, I can see straight through you. I hope you feel like a real hero, mate. You're pathetic.
If you follow the common decency standards.
I like that Joey's going in hard, like with the, you think that you're a hero, you're pathetic. I think for someone of his size and the size of his account and the amount of people that he can appeal to, and I think it's important to be like real and not always so PC and family friendly. And like, I really appreciate that Joey is someone that keeps it real like that. And as someone, like, obviously I'm sat here calling people cunts and stuff, so I am biased, but but like, I really do appreciate that Joey keeps it real. Thank you, DJ Lernal, for the $10 donation, for the $10 contribution, Streamlabs donation. Ed Farmer, contender for Meat Flake of the Year. Oh, he could be. Definitely contender for Meat Flake of the Year. We will be doing that again this year. Definitely a nominee for Meat Flake of the Year. Annie, could you note that down, please? Just like Meat Flakes of the Year 2022, Ed Petite. Let's put Ed Petite in the running. We do, by the way, for those that don't know what that is, at the end of the year, we did it last year and we'll do it this year as well, kind of like probably January 2023. And we will do a Meat Flakes of the Year where we'll go through the worst meat flakes, like the worst, most triggered meat eaters from the year prior, and you get to vote who you think wins number one. So last year, I believe it was, was it the guy who made the website, was it? And, or was it, oh my God, who won last year's? Does anybody remember? Who won last year's Meat Flake of the Year? We need to find out. I can't continue until we find out. I believe it was the guy who made like the anti-vegan clothing brand and website and shit like that. I think he got voted in that one. I don't. Oh, here, Triggered Meat Eater Comment Awards 2021. Was it the the guy who hates the vegan sausage. No, it wasn't Boris. It was. Oh wait. I think it was the guy. Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Number one spot was the guy who made the website and stuff, the anti-vegan website, and like went like next level, making this like pathetic website clothing brand. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the right, got it. It was the dairy company in Sweden, Arla, massive dairy company, one of the biggest dairy companies in the world, and they had a competition for donuts, and the vegan donut was about to win, and they cancelled the competition. They won the Meat Flake of the Year for 2021. Fucking hilarious. Can you even believe that? I still can't get my head around that. They cancelled a donut competition because the vegan donut was going to win. Oh my God. I'll show you. Look, I just pulled it up. So this was it. The let's have a look if we can play it. To Arla, the anti-vegan dairy company who held a competition in Sweden for the best donuts, and unfortunately had to cancel it when a vegan one took the lead. So I think it's very well deserved. I think these guys absolutely deserve Meat Flake of the Year award for 2021. It is by far the most meat flakery thing I've ever seen, I think, and they absolutely deserve it. Arla, thank you so much for participating. I will get this sent out to your head office, and I'll get this engraved with your, it says something on it right now. I got it for it says Love of the Year. It was something from Valentine's Day. We'll get that fixed. It'll say Meat Flake of the Year 2021 by the time I'm done with it. There you go. So it was those guys who won it. So we'll do that again this year. And we'll this guy's going to be Mr. Ed Petite. Well done. You're now nominated.
They would have been returned as soon as she got them.
How dare you talk about decency, mate? You've got not a decent bone in your body, mate.
The law is a minimum set of standards in society that you shouldn't go below. There's a moral and an ethical area that she blew through.
How dare you talk about ethics and morality? Are you saying ethics and morality are more important than the minimum standard of the law? If you care about ethics and morality, why don't you care about the ethics and morality of cutting heads off?
It's mad, isn't it?
Like, what world do you live in? If you think it's more unethical to protect cows from being killed from their killers than it is to kill them.
Do you have pets? Do you have a dog?
It's insane. And it's just all driven by his human supremacist mindset, heavily driven by his religious mindset. I'm telling you, that's where it all comes from. Mark J, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You say, I live among ranchers in New Mexico. They're decent, religious people who have zero empathy for the suffering of their animals while believing that they're providing a necessary good service. Yeah, this is the thing. I've no doubt that a lot of these people are, when it comes to other people, they're caring, kind, generous. They live, a certain lifestyle because of whatever religion they believe in. They try to, go by the book, and then they take the good things and they try. But the problem is with religion, mass organized religions, often comes this complete disregard for other animals and this almost passive aggressive hatred of them. It's like passive hatred of other animals because it's like because they devalue them so much that they're nothing but bacon, eggs, and a glass of milk to them. Their lives are so devalued, and I'm telling you, it comes from a religious influence. And so this is why it's like, it doesn't surprise me that these ranchers are, in all other aspects of life, good people. It's not a surprise that they seem so empathetic to people. They seem so kind. And they're living in a way they think is best, and the reason that we see them and we're like, oh my God, but they're such scumbags what they're doing to animals, because in their eyes it's not scummy what they're doing, it's not violent what they're doing. In their eyes, these animals are like tables. They're just tables that happen to breathe and need nutrition and need food and need medical treatment. They see them in their worldview, they're just literally property. And so they don't see it as we see it, as as disgusting as it is. They don't even see these animals as worthy of consideration of the you know, of all of these things that we consider them for, like their lives, what their lives matter. And they, you know what I mean? It's not even crossing their fucking minds. And if it is, they'll squash that shit right out as quickly as possible. Because how the hell could they do their jobs if they agreed with vegans? This is part of what this Ed Petit is doing here. Like, he cannot literally live with himself, right? He could just sit there and let it go. But he's overcompensating with this fucking stage and all these signs, going to these people's houses. All of it is projection because he fucking knows that she's right. He knows that she's trying to save lives. He's not an idiot. He knows she's trying to save lives. He knows that vegans are trying to save lives. He knows that the vegan animal rights movement has grown. He knows that plant-based food is available. Plant-based alternatives are available. They're healthy. They're getting lower and lower in price. He sees all this. And he's either faced with the reality of what I do to animals is now no longer necessary. Therefore, I'm doing it for pleasure. Therefore, I am a piece of shit and I'm doing violence for pleasure. Or he has to go out there and convince everyone that what he's doing is 100% right, natural, and totally okay. These are his two options. He's not going to go for option one yet, and maybe he never will. Right? So instead he goes for option two and this outward, over-the-top projection with playing himself off like some kind of Trump-like politician for the farmers, because this is the only way he can fucking live with himself. That's what's going on. That's what this whole thing is.
Dog? You do. You have a dog. Would you like if someone did this with your dog?
This guy just keeps debunking himself in the most hilarious and ironic way.
It's like if these people were planning to slit that dog's throat, yes, you would absolutely want someone to go in and take that fucking dog from them.
Would the vegans like someone kept their dog? Ed, I would love it if my dog was about to have their head cut off and someone protected my dog from having their head cut off.
It's basic. It's such basic fucking simple logic to anyone who's not a total idiot.
I think Ed understands how hilariously ironic that is, what he just said. Ed, how would you like it if your dog got their head cut off so I could have some bacon on my plate? You ever think about that? And what if there was some nice woman, as these dogs got out on their day of slaughter, pulled them in, protected them from having their heads cut off? And then some final boss Trump supporting gun-toting Karen comes past with signs saying, release the dog beef. Release the dog beef. Send them to the slaughterhouse. We're hard-working dog farmers. We want some dog beef on our plate. Like, who was in the right in that situation?
Well, only...
It's so funny, isn't it? And in that situation, you know, Ed would, if Ed were in, like, China or you know, I think it's the Philippines or Cambodia, wherever, where they have dogs and they kill dogs. I mean, you know, part of me thinks that maybe he would be like, well, it's legal there, so it's right. Maybe he would take the legal route. Or maybe he would be like, no, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. And then he would be getting protested, right? For speaking out against the dog meat industry. And then you know, it's like Ed could so easily be Tracy, is what I'm trying to say. Just switch the species of animal and he could so easily be her. But he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that he's drawn an arbitrary line between some animals and other animals. And this arbitrary line defines for him which ones are property and which ones aren't. And it literally is arbitrary. It is a line that he's just generated based on cultural influence, religious influence, legal influences. You know, it really is arbitrary. It's not based on in any kind of world of like, it's not a sensible thing, you know, to draw this line. It's not based in rationality. It's based on purely just happenstance of where he was born. The country he was born in, the family he was raised in, has defined where he draws a line and which animals he thinks deserve to get their heads cut off or not. It's really, but then that people will die on that hill. People will literally die on this hill over something they were born into, and they don't even, you know, they couldn't properly argue why they believe it, but they will die on the hill of it anyway, right? It's mad. And as vegans, it's something we come across all the time. You know, when people start, I mean, not everybody does this, but people do push back a lot when we talk to them about animal rights, veganism. But it's like, they never ask themselves why they're pushing back so much. And if they did ask themselves why they're pushing back so much, they'd find that they don't really fucking know. It's just there and they're doing it. And my answer to that is it's because, what I just said, the influences you had when you were growing up, that is the only reason you believe what you believe when it comes to animals. So it should be, if you're being sensible, it should be very fucking easy to change that when new information comes up that actually puts some detail and then some explanation to what you believe and actually shows you there are better ways. Why cling to these ideas that you didn't even have yourself? These are not your ideas. These are the ideas that you were raised with and that society gave you. They're not, you didn't come up with them. They're not yours. So why cling to them? You know, why cling to them? And, you know, I'd love to see Ed Petite debate Joey on this and to see, you know, is it possible to take someone like Ed with these ideas that he's clinging to, and is it possible to make him reevaluate them? You know, intuitively I say it isn't. I think he's too stubborn, too far gone. But you know, it's so interesting, isn't it?
One side is in the wrong here. And let me ask you this. What do you think she was saving those cows from? They weren't being abused. They were well fed. Give them back to the owner. That's simple. She's not saving them from anything.
It's almost like Ed's memory, like, I think it's all the saturated fat cholesterol he's eating. I think he had a mini stroke. He completely deleted from his mind that the cows are going to be decapitated. I don't know what world you're from, Ed, but the world I'm from, which is called reality, cutting animals' heads off is quite abusive. That's what she was saving the cows from. She even said it.
We're a sanctuary. We don't want to hand over animals that are going to go into slaughter.
You can't make this up. You can't make this stupidity up, really.
It's mental that he's like, she's not saving them from anything. What is he on about? She's saving, oh my God. Like, I wonder if it's like, I mean, did he have a mini stroke and he just forgets that he kills animals? Or is it that he genuinely thinks that, what does he think is going to happen? I just don't get it. I don't get where he would come up with that.
Except maybe she's saving them for herself.
What an idiot! I cannot with this guy. Oh, please come on my channel. Please. I'll go on your channel, Ed. I'll go on your Facebook and talk to you. Yeah. You are an absolute clown. She's saving them for herself? Why? So she can be arrested? She's protecting them from being slaughtered. She cares about their interests. You are trying to save them for yourselves, literally, to cut them up into pieces and eat them.
Well, thank you for talking to us, at least. Okay, everybody, that was a interesting discussion.
I take back what I said earlier. Okay, seems like he has 3 people supporting him. So yeah, okay, he has some support. All right, you prove me wrong.
Well, you know what, Ed, you just look like a blumbering mess who has no spine. You know, you're just a ridiculous, contradictory person. I don't get how you operate in society, being the way that you are. You've got a gun? This guy's got a gun. This guy is the president of a Second Amendment gun lobbying group. The Second Amendment forever. Ed Petite, he's the president. America is a scary place, mate, where people like Ed have guns.
Man, Joey, yes. I love this going in so fucking hard on him. That's funny, man.
So Ed's back out the front of, now he's out the front of Ash's sanctuary.
The state police had pulled into the Asha sanctuary. I think this is the beef thief bust. Release the beef. I believe they're here to release the beef.
He's so excited out the front of the sanctuary now that the cows are going to get taken by the police. What ends up happening is Tracy gets arrested for theft and the cows go back to the killer, the person who's going to kill them.
The beef are released.
And they're the cows.
They're on their way home.
The beef are released. Gives no identity to these cows. Tracy's going to prison for doing the right thing, but this is exactly what happens in history, isn't it? Like during the times of slavery, you would have been arrested for liberating slaves. During the Holocaust, you would have been arrested, well, people were arrested and I think executed for hiding Jews. So I'm sure at every horrific point in history, there were many people like Ed, and that's why human history is so messed up.
Finally, something that should have happened over a week, actually 2 weeks ago. None of this would have happened if she had done the right thing right from the start, instead of trying to steal a man's cattle for her own selfish gain.
Quite a sad situation. I mean, we can only imagine where those cows are now. You've all seen footage of inside slaughterhouses. I don't have to tell you what happens in there, but I might just tell Ed. Hey, Ed, you ever seen cows get slaughtered inside slaughterhouses? You say you process your own animals, so you're probably well aware of the animal abuser that you are. Animals do not want to die. They go into slaughterhouses and struggle in fear, and they are murdered against their will to live. It's a horrible animal rights violation. These places are blood-filled bloodbaths, hell on earth, and you are a perpetrator of animal killing and misery. You are on the wrong side of history. One day, history is going to catch up and you'll be remembered for the scumbag that you are. I'm very sorry that Tracy has been arrested. She tried her best. If you can support Asher Farm Sanctuary, please do. Please support Tracy. She put herself on the line and tried to help these animals. Unfortunately, the legal system and imbeciles like Ed didn't let that happen, didn't let these animals live. They fought for the animals to be stabbed to death, and Tracy got arrested for trying to protect the innocent. That's where we are in history when it comes to animal rights. We're very far behind. The animals are not going to be free anytime soon, but all we can do is raise awareness and hopefully garner support for more sanctuaries, and hopefully people like Ed die off in the next generation. All right, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. In these
Annie, could you put the link to the to donate here for the sanctuary? Where is it? Yeah, that was where's the donation link, Joey? Is it in the comment? Is it in the pinned comment? It's here, yeah, in the pinned comment. Cool. I got it. Yeah. It's you know that it was good fun watching Joey go in on this guy, but of course it's you know the how it ended is really sad. There's no taking away from that. There's no getting around that. It's a fucking terrible ending. And you know what's really also, it's like that smug prick. It's disgusting how happy he was how it ended. You know, it's like you know, like when he was saying, "Oh, the beef are going home now." It's like, you're a sick fuck, mate. You know, there's no two ways about it. Like, this guy is a sick fuck. He could have, as I said earlier, I know it's all words, and in the end, you know, what was going to happen to those animals, because what was going to happen. But the fact that he's putting it like that, it just shows everything you need to know about this cunt. Like, oh no, the beef is going home now. It's like he's completely removed on purpose any kind of animal, any kind of being, any kind of personality from them, that any kind of life from them. Like, he's trying to make it out like that literally this is like two products that someone stole. As I said, because he has to do that. Because if he accepts what Tracy and the sanctuary was saying in any way, shape or form, he has to face himself in the mirror and know that he's a violent piece of shit. And he won't do it. And that's what a lot of these farmers, and not just farmers, a lot of these meat eaters, non-vegans, this is what they refuse to do. This is why we end up with staunch anti-vegans. This is why we end up with people that basically try and build a career around debunking veganism, like debunking the idea of trying to avoid being harmful and abusive to animals as far as you possibly can. Why would you debunk that as an ideology? Not just as an ideology, as a way of living, as a belief system, as an ideology too, as an idea, as a concept, why would you try to debunk that? Why would you try to devote your life to stopping, to trying to prove to people that that's not good? It's wild, isn't it? But these people do it, and they do it for the same reason this guy's going out. So the beef are going to go home and go into people's houses and building a fucking stage. It's all projection. It's all just, I want to keep living the way I'm living. And if I agree with you, I can't do that. And I actually have to accept that I am a selfish, violent piece of shit, right? That's what it all boils down to. Now, I believe there is another video we can check out from Joey. I believe this guy responded to Joey. Yeah, there is a short that we can check out, see what Mr. Petit said. He did a quick short, it looks like. Let's have a look. Hold up.
So this Ed Petit guy just won't quit.
Excuse
Here
me.
he is sharing...
Hey, the fuck? Let's try that again.
So this Ed Petit guy just won't quit. Here he is sharing my video on his page like he's got some kind of gotcha. Ed, did you watch the video all the way through? I can't believe you'd have the audacity to share it. I absolutely destroyed you and made you look like the absolute idiot clown that you are. And here you are, calling me radical? Mate, if opposing cutting off animals' heads is radical, then yes, I'm radical. And if cutting off animals' heads makes you normal and rational, then I don't want to be normal or rational. And here you are going, this just exposed the demented thinking of vegans. No, it didn't. That video exposed your outdated, abusive, Stone Age mentality towards the ownership of sentient beings. You are the animal abuser. You are a coward. Leave the sanctuary alone. So this Ed Petit guy...
I'm liking Joey. I'm liking this version of Joey. This is my favorite Joey. Joey, keep this shit up, man. This is good. I like that a lot. Let's go take a look at what this guy... let's go take a look at what he said, right? And let's have a look at the comments too. And see if there's anything funny. Which I'm sure... I'm certain that there's going to be something in there, right? Is this him? Ed Petit? No. How do I find him? Hold up. Let's have a little look at Joey's video again. Ed Petit Senior. Okay. Okay, Ed Petit Senior. Where is he? All right, I found him. Let's go have a look at our right here, Ed Petit Senior. Let's find out what it's been saying. Okay, that was his last post, 1st September. Uh-oh, the radical vegans have made a video. All right, let's have a look. Wait, can you guys see that? Yeah. I made a video exposed me of the horrible crime of being normal and rational. Check this out. This is the demented thinking of radical vegans. While they think they're attacking me, they're exposing their lunacy. Hilarious. Okay, 34 comments. We've got... I still can't figure out if veganism leads to mental illness or if it just attracts the mentally ill. Not very libertarian of you, that statement. I don't know. If veganism leads to mental illness or if it attracts the mentally ill. Well, actually, you know, in a genuine response to that, I think a lot of people who have mental illnesses of sorts, I'm being serious right now, people who struggle with things like depression and whatnot, and people who suffer in general are drawn to veganism, being vegan, because those who suffer are often more empathetic to others who suffer. So actually, although this is a stupid comment, and he's trying to say vegans are mentally ill, it's not actually completely untrue, because yeah, if you find it a lot, if you give, there's a lot of people who've gone out there on the streets, they give money to homeless people and they follow them around, see what they do with it. And a lot of times they go and give it to go and spend it on food for other homeless people, and they share it. Because when you're suffering together, you tend to help each other. So yeah, I find that there are a lot of vegans who've been through really, really horrible shit in their lives, and it's made them appreciate what it means to suffer more, and then that's why they go vegan, because they have empathy. So yeah. Wow. I don't even have the words for these people. Their end game is the extinction of all livestock. Yeah, yeah. Why would you? They're man-made animals. Of course, that's the end game. You don't want that. They suffer. They're brought into the world to have their fucking throats cut. Geez, if a sanctuary wanted to try and keep a small population of them and care for them and whatever, that would make sense. Yeah, it doesn't have to be extinction, but if extinction is the only option, yes, extinction over continuously breeding them and cutting their fucking heads off. Emotional immaturity-based ignorance coupled with arrogant self-righteousness. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see these easier. What Murphy did was expose the lunatic vegan fringe, and they are trying to do damage control because even most vegans did not support her. Well, is that the Tracy? Is that her name? Yeah, most vegans, any vegan who didn't support that sanctuary owner. Okay, I'll say this to the camera. If you're vegan and you didn't support that sanctuary owner, Tracy, for what she did, get fucked. Get fucked. I would go as far as saying, and I don't say this very often, that you're not vegan. You're eating a plant-based diet and you do not have vegan ethics, you do not have vegan morals. If you do not support somebody trying to save animals' lives, right, because they wander onto her fucking sanctuary and she tries to keep them and tries to, buy them, tries to do whatever she can. If you don't support her trying to keep these animals alive, basically, after they wander onto her farm, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry. I very rarely say that someone's not a vegan. I'm not the kind of guy to be oh, vegan card, because I don't really believe in these titles and stuff like that. I'm not precious over oh, what's the real vegan really mean? But it pisses me off that some vegans would be against a sanctuary trying to save the lives of animals. So yeah, fuck you if you did that, honestly. I love her video yesterday. She said, oh, wait, I love her video yesterday. Said how the cows down there get to go into the paddock. No pasture with grass to graze. Seems to me those poor cows are slaves to her fundraising efforts. Yeah, exactly, yeah. They thought all the publicity from this was going to attract a huge amount of support, but it backfired. And now they're trying to hold their base together. They've been exposed as radicals and frauds. Technically, by the number of cows alone, let alone the other stock, the barn, and the smell and closes makes her a CAFO operation. They're saying this animal sanctuary is an industrial animal feeding operation. Have you seen what they look like? Would you like to see what a CAFO operation looks like? Concentrated animal feeding operation. They're trying to say Asha Sanctuary looks like this. Should we take a look at Asha Sanctuary? Should we take a look at Asha Sanctuary? Asha's, is that the one? Asha's Farm Sanctuary? Let's have a look at Asha's Farm Sanctuary. Like, is there actual pictures of it from, like, outside or something? I'm going to go ahead and make the grand assumption that it doesn't look like that. But, okay. Oh, here we go. So, there's a couple of cows there. As you see here, there's like a couple of sheep here. They got some hay out and stuff. Okay. There he goes. Oh, that's not it. Yeah, okay. Let's be honest. It doesn't look like this, does it? You silly pricks. Look at this. Is there a tour video? Yeah, maybe. There could be a tour video on the website. Let's have a look. I mean, this is stupid, obviously. You know this is stupid. You know it doesn't look like this. But anyway, whatever. You know it doesn't look like that. But they're trying to make it out like it does. Fucking idiots. Exactly what I've also been saying. God, Doug, you're so smart. Is it not against veganism or what not to own, let alone pen up animals? She contradicts herself every time she speaks. Well, at least I'm sure she could speak English, though. At least that would be something she'd have on you, Brittany. Yeah, no, it's not against veganism. Is that really? She's already that's a troll. I'm not. Is it not against veganism? Oh my God. To pen up animals. No. Of course it's not. What are you supposed to do? If you rescue animals, you have to care for them in the best way possible. And of course, that includes doing things like penning them up or, keeping them. Like, for example, if you walk your dog, you put them on a leash, right? Why? So they don't run off into a fucking car or get shredded apart by another violent dog that's, not friendly or whatever. You do it for their own good. You pen them up for their own health and safety. Right? It's not like you're doing it because you want to fatten them up to send them to a fucking slaughterhouse. Same as your dog. You keep them in the house or whatever. Once you've rescued them, or you don't let them roam or whatever because it's dangerous outside, and you don't want them to get killed by a human, another dog, or a car. Fuck. It's not rocket science. Buzz Adams. This looks like it's going to be a treat with a name like Buzz. And look at that. Oh my God. Can you guys see the profile pic here? He's got the American flag. And he's got his pooch. He's got a dog there as well. Let's see how much of a hypocrite he is. I wonder how they'll feel when all the cows are wandering free around the countryside, trampling and eating all their precious vegetables so neatly laid out in the rows. The cows will be free to damage property wherever they wish. Not to mention the chaos that will ensue on the roadways. Do you think hitting a deer is dangerous? Try hitting a cow on the road in the darkness. I wonder how many times he's done that. They don't move as fast. I bet the vegans don't treat the insects that attack their crops very nicely. They don't have a problem with wholesale slaughter of the creepy crawlers that munch on the green leaves. Who knows how many gophers have died in their quest for fresh veggies? Yeah, Buzz, why would cows be all over the roads? What do you think's gonna happen? You think that's what vegans want? We just want, that's it, just animal ag, it just ends and then just cows everywhere. No, dude, we want you to stop fucking breeding them, mate. They don't just appear from nowhere. Buzz, stop breeding them. Jesus, guys. The only reason there are so many of them, so many that would cause all of these road accidents, is because you fuckers keep on putting your arms inside them and injecting them with bull semen. You fucking freaks. So stop doing that, and your issue won't be an issue, will it? And as for the whole... the vegans don't treat the insects that attack their crops very nicely. Like, no, mate, crops are grown for everyone, yeah? If the vegans had our own way, we'd do it without massacring fucking insects or any kind of animals. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as telling farmers, hey, could you not do that? Because farmers, as you're seeing from all these fucking today's videos, very stubborn people. And also, most people don't give a fuck about insects. Vegans do. But anyway, that is a long way off, because until we're if we end up breeding and enslaving gophers and insects the same way we're doing it to cows, pigs, chickens, sheep, and all the others, then yeah. But for now, I think the priority should absolutely be on the animals that are literally factory farmed into existence just to be, put out of that fucking existence by scumbags with knives. John says, wow, what a delusional, ignorant idiot. Hustling followers for the cash. He preys on fellow tree huggers. Joey, you delusional, ignorant idiots preying on fellow tree huggers. And I'll bet 90% he and his cult are probably pro-abortion, with absolutely no problem killing a human baby in the womb, but all for stealing livestock and personal property. Makes my head hurt listening to him, honestly. It's so funny that I've heard this one a few times. The pro-lifers often try and pull this up with vegans and make it a vegan issue. Like that a vegan, that if a vegan isn't pro-life, and they say like a vegan who's not pro-life might say, right, but they don't believe that the to a certain level or whatever that the baby is considered a life yet, like a life deserving of like morals. But an animal, it does, because they're born, they're existing, they're here, they're fully formed, they're not a fetus, right? And they think this is some kind of contradiction. It's very funny, and it's these two things are not related whatsoever. The whole abortion debate should never come into a vegan debate. It is a totally separate debate. You know what I mean? I don't see how those things overlap personally. But I have seen, especially like these kind of like conservative Christian, they like to bring that up and think they've got it as like a gotcha if a vegan is not, if a vegan doesn't believe in the pro-life stuff, which is really funny. Paula says, morality over legality. Whose morality? In some cultures, it's perfectly moral to beat or kill your wife or daughters if they bring shame to you or your family name. Yeah. That's a good one. I agree, Paula. Are you I did an American accent for you, but I mean, are you a vegan? Like what? That's a vegan comment. That's a pro-vegan comment. She's a farmer. What? Why is this farmer making a pro-vegan comment? Wait a minute. Wait, is it a, wait, no, maybe not. No, yeah, she's saying like skulls and shit. No, wait, I'm confused. Hold up. No, yeah, oh my God, she's eating beef tongue. That's the, wait, no, wait. Okay, wait. In some cultures, morality over legality. In some cultures, it is perfectly moral to beat or kill your wife or daughter. In some countries, it is legal to rape your wife, Paula. So what are you trying to say? Legality is more important than morality? So then are you saying that in the 13 countries in the world where it's still legal to rape your wife, that you think that's okay in those countries? If you put legality over morality? Is that what you're trying to say, Paul? I don't really understand the point here. Of course, morality over legality. And whose morality? Well, morality is based on where I'm standing, and I think what most people would agree with is morality comes when you're impeding someone, you're harming someone, is when like something becomes moral or immoral and becomes a moral issue. When you're doing something that starts to harm another is when it starts to become a thing of morality. It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. If it's legal for me to shoot somebody in the head, and I can't be that, and then I can't just be like, yeah, I believe it's moral too. Well, no, how could it be? I'm causing somebody else harm, right? So there needs to be a discussion about that, even though it's legal. So yeah, that's an interesting. She kind of made an argument. She might have accidentally made a vegan argument though, or at least an argument against. She's arguing for legality as being the core thing that we should pay attention to. But then again, yeah, you need to also agree then that okay, in countries where marital rape is legal, then marital rape is moral, which makes no fucking sense. Marty Gross says, "One idiot. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. These people are crazy." True, we are crazy. Sadie Mae. I saw some of this late last night and I was going to send the link, but the video put me to sleep. Well, I mean, most of the video was Ed, so I mean, it's not quite the roast you think it is. Oh my goodness. Just some silly stuff from Ed. I'm gonna glance see if there's anything funny here. Just saw you all over Joey the vegan page. Interesting. Gang member that goes vegan and you can donate money to him to keep him in style. Really hates farmers. This man is a joke. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what Joey is, an ex-gang member that went vegan, and you can donate money to him. So, And he really hates farmers. I mean, there's nothing inaccurate here. I think she feels like this is like, Linda feels like she slammed him there. It's like, no, that's Joey. Yeah, you just described Joey Carbstrong. Is this like supposed to be some kind of burn? Guy doesn't have info or post on Facebook. Oh, this is animalactivistwatch.com. Criminal pastor, vegan activist, Carbstrong revealed. Special report. Is that like an old thing? The criminal background of Joey Carbstrong. Yeah, it's from 2018. It's hilarious. It's because like Joey's always been like very forthcoming with the background stuff. So, and also we have a podcast coming up. I did a podcast with Joey, and we talked a lot about that actually, about his background, and got into his like story in more detail. So that keep an eye out for that. If you are a big fan of Joey, you'll really enjoy this podcast. It's pretty intense, so I've got to warn you guys. You're gonna get a lot of reality. It's very, he didn't hold anything back. So I get excited for that. Oh, look at this, Kelly. Yikes. Drug abuse changed brain connections. Glad the man has been sober for 4 years, but wow. Well, that's nice. Glad he's been sober for 4 years. It's nice, Joey. The farmers are happy you've been sober for 4 years, giving you some support. Now, this one's not really that bad. It's just sharing some stuff Joey said. Screw them. In better news, bow season starts in a month. Yeah. Patrick's a big, tough man, shoots animals with a bow. So such an alpha, such a Chad. These folks should seek help. Yes, Michael. See that? That's a great joke. I like that. Get it? Seek help. I enjoyed that a lot. Lucy Colby. I couldn't even finish watching this disgusting video. Typical tactics of militant frequents. This guy accuses farmers of being bigots, yet he hurls accusations of Trump supporting gun-toting rednecks. I mean, where was the lie, though? I reckon he is a gun-toting Trump supporting redneck. I reckon so. And as usual, these people are operating from a position of screaming invectives and emotional meltdown rather than logic and reality. The law of nature is to eat or be eaten. This person's pro-Jeffrey Dahmer here. If they choose to subscribe to the ideology of veganism, that's their business. But trying to shove it down everybody else's throats just makes them sound like religious fanatics. Yeah, because, sitting and making YouTube videos is exactly how you shove it down people's throats. It's not like they have to, click on the video and choose to watch it or something. The modus operandi is exactly the same. The Taliban have food choices showing their asses yet again. It would be funny if they weren't trying to make everybody else's lives miserable with their ridiculous cultish behavior. Lucy Colby, you nailed it. So funny. So then I went ahead and finished watching it anyway. It was just about as silly and unhinged as I expected. Mostly ad hominem, which is to be expected when one doesn't have a cogent argument. I had a chuckle when I considered that your pushback must have hit a bullseye, seeing as how tilted these unbalanced people got. Naturally, I had to leave a comment calling them out on her bigotry. Man, they're so deluded, aren't they? And that's it. That's Ed's reach. Pretty much 34 comments and 14 reactions. Go Ed. He's the anti-earthling Ed, basically, right? Oh, fucking weirdo. Look at this fucking weirdo. Look at these just posted. Wow. Imagine having stew from a prehistoric animal. What the fuck is wrong with you? Who looks at this, a prehistoric animal, and goes, oh, I'd put that in a stew. What is your malfunction, bro? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, is it like a fetish? Is he just looking at this fucking, fossilized animal, and he's just like, oh fuck, oh god, if that was in a stew, fuck, I have to post that on Facebook. Oh, fucking sick bastard, man. God, what else have we got here? He's a big anti-Karl Marx guy. All right, interesting, political man. Some stuff there, I don't know. Okay, so it's just like we only got one freak post so far, but yeah. And oh yeah, so he's thousands of people plan to attend a barbecue in front of the home of a vegan Australian woman who took her neighbours to court over the smell of meat cooking in their own backyard. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's real nice, guys. That's how you show. That's how you show you're very comfortable with what you believe. Is, you know, and yes, that's what you do. Anything else interesting here? Ah, you see. So yeah, he started a story of Adam and Eve. They should have cooked the snake. All right then, nice fairy tale if you want to believe it. All right, I think I'm done with this guy. It was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. So, did Joey go too far? Well, no, obviously he didn't. He didn't go far enough. I reckon he should have dropped a few C-bombs in there, Joey. You got to make cunt one of the words in your vocabulary, bro. Then you're gonna be like next level. All right, I'm telling you, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So let's do it. Let's bring it back, Joey. Well, bring it back. You've never said it, but yeah, no. I think Joey did a great job with this. It's a good video. I like that he was direct. I really appreciate the direct approach on this kind of stuff, calling this guy out. Just straight up insulting him. I think sometimes, like, look, we can always take the high road. I get it. We can take the high road, and we can. It's an option. Ed takes the high road. Lots of vegans take the high road, and sometimes though, a good roast is okay. It's like you know, a good roast is okay, right? A good roast is okay. I feel like you can cross the line and you can get into hyperventilating, fucking freak out mode, screeching like the person in the video that I did recently. And then obviously, no, that's too far. You've gone down the other way, right? But there's a sweet spot where you can roast someone, you can take the piss out of them, you can laugh at them, you can, you know, mock what they're saying and take apart what they're saying and make fun of it. And I think it's good. And I think this is how normal people fucking act. So, you know, this is how people are in society. You rip each other, you roast each other, you make fun of each other. It's totally fine. And I like to see it a lot. I like to see it. I like to see Joey doing it. And I enjoy doing it myself. So we'll continue doing it. And I hope Joey continues doing it. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And especially to those who super chatted, donated. You're fucking legends. You're keeping the dream alive, keeping things going. If you want to know what's coming up next, I do have a video coming out today or tomorrow, as I do have a follow-up to that crazy vegan person screaming at the meat-eating guy. There's a part of the video that was not uploaded that I have, and it's very good. It's extra. It's unseen footage. Adds some context, and it's good. It's really interesting. So that video's coming soon. Keep an eye out for it. Keep calling out that bullshit, everybody. Wherever you see it, keep humanely roasting these numpties, and I'll catch you all in the next one.